Good afternoon. The entertainment world is mourning radio legend and Hey Hey It's Saturday funny man John Blackman, who's died aged 76. Friend and colleague Tony Jones has this tribute.
While the sudden death of John Blackman comes as an obvious shock, what should come as no surprise is the volume of tributes flowing for John Blackman. And it's because he was not only a terrific person and so well regarded within the television and radio industry, it was because that rapid fire wit, that ability to deliver those classic one-liners, put him in a class of his own.
As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted 8 weeks ago, good morning. Some of the guys said when they come to Melbourne they want to see some art and they want to see a newspaper. So I'm taking them up to the Men's Gallery tonight and the Daily Planet tomorrow.
So while Hey Hey It's Saturday propelled John Blackman into a national figure, he was almost upstaged by himself.
You need a spanking.
Oh, yes, please.
Come on. This is Dickie Nee.
Nice to meet you, Dick.
How you doing?
Nice to meet yours as well.
Among those tributes I mentioned a little earlier, Daryl Somers, the former Hey Hey It's Saturday host, telling 9 News late today, "I am devastated by the loss of my beloved friend. He had a God-given talent to make people laugh, especially me. He used to say his mission on Hey Hey was to break me up, and at times I'd be crying with uncontrollable laughter. Sadly today, I'm just crying." Tributes also from fellow Hey Hey members.
Daryl won't mind me saying this. Without John, there was no Hey Hey. That's how important he was.
John Blackman was 76 and is survived by his loving wife Cecile and his daughter Tiffany. But whilst those two are feeling it more so than anyone in Australia today, most Australians are reflecting on what was a wonderful life, a wonderful career from a wonderful man.
The thing you remember about him was the style and the class he had when he was ill. He just never gave up, and that was fantastic.
Blackman had been battling cancer for a number of years, but it's understood he died from a heart attack. And for more, we're joined by John's Hey Hey co-star and friend Wilbur Wilde. Good afternoon to you, Willie. No doubt it's a very sad day today. What did John mean to you?
Well, he was a great mate, Dougal, and thank you. I just saw the lovely overlay there and Derryn Hinch paying John that affectionate homage because they had their ups and downs. I remember saying to Blackers years ago, have you buried the hatchet with Derryn? And he said, I've buried the hatchet so many times with Derryn, my backyard's rusty. But that's Blackers. And right up until the end, he was laughing. I spoke with him only last week, and we laughed about something. In fact, he went to the opening of our cartoonist, part of the Hey Hey family, Andrew Fife, had an exhibition, and John went there, and he called me up the next day to say, yeah, it was great. But the drink prices were too expensive. So, we just had lots of laughs. Today is the day. It's sad, but today is the day that I've been remembering a lot of those great times with him and the calls that I've had and the more people I've spoken with. Jackie McDonald and I had half an hour on the phone earlier on, and Murray Tregoni, our sound, Red Simons was there, and so it was part of the family, and we've lost that part.
I wanted to ask you, what was the chemistry like in that studio with John during those Hey Hey years?
When I joined the show in 1984, it was the first year that we were nighttime. So we had Daryl Somers, the late, great Ernie Carroll, Jackie McDonald. We had John Blackman and me on the floor. Oh, John was upstairs, but it was just such a tight-knit group. Red joined a couple of years after that, and that was just really the inner sanctum, and it was a wonderful chemistry. I think the thing was, if somebody dropped the ball, there was always somebody there to pick it up again. And we were Daryl was the bus driver, and we were the naughty kids in the back of the bus, and that's the best way I can explain it.
What was he like behind the scenes when the cameras weren't rolling?
Blackers, well, look, you've got to remember he was, as well as this gifted comedian and a wonderful voice artist. We call him the man with 1,000 voices. I mean, he'd say, in his self-deprecatory way, he'd say, I only do 2. So no, he did lots and lots. He was a wonderful voice artist. He was a father and a son, and he was a son-in-law, and he was a brother, and he was a husband. And so I had the absolute honour of serving alongside him, not just at Hey Hey, but when we did radio, and we became great friends because that's just a naturally intimate setting when you're having a chat between commercial breaks and during the news, and we became great mates then. So, and look, on the golf course, like if he got stuck in a bunker, he was no loss to the diplomatic corps, but nevertheless, we're all a bit like that at times.
We often talk about his TV career, but he had a big radio career as well. That had so much profound impact there as well, didn't it?
I learned a lot from John. We did a couple of years breakfast together in the late 80s, and it was wonderful. I mean, he was just my idol for... Oh, it was one of my... Look, not only was John like a hero sort of entertainment-wise, because he was like fast and he paid attention and guided me there. He was a bit of a father figure to me, John Blackman. You know, my dad died young, and so John was a few years older than me. He would have been 77 in July. I'm now 50. So anyway, but he was just a real guiding light.
He'd been incredibly brave as well. He's had a long cancer battle. How did he handle those years?
Look, the ordeal that he endured when he had to have his jaw reconstructed and that plastic surgery and the rehab and he just took it. I said to him one time, I said, look, you've really taken this one on the chin. He said, shut up, I haven't even got one now. So it was a great irreverence to himself. He could laugh at himself, and that's the thing, man. There you go. For a funny guy, and he was. One of the reasons he was funny is that he could laugh at himself, and he's had a good death, and today is the day to remember the laughs. We'll grieve for him in our own way, as will hundreds of thousands of fans across the country and his friends. And I don't know what we'll do. We'll raise a glass to him and think of him very fondly. And when we do, we'll laugh a lot.
Very well said. I know it's an incredibly sad day, and our thoughts are with you and John's family. Wilbur Wilde, thank you so much for your time today.